Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma. Thank you so much for joining me today. This class is going to be focused on your side body. So we're going to get a nice stretch through the intercostal muscles, the obliques, and we'll also work them quite a bit. Let's go ahead and jump right in. We'll get started in a standing forward fold. Feet nice and wide, the width of your mat, generous bend in your knees, head hanging heavy. You can grab your elbows or you could let your arms hang heavy. You might also like to bind your hands behind your head. Get a little bit more extension through the back of your neck. As we move today, put a little bit of extra focus on your exhale breathing, finding the bottom of your breath, pushing all the air out, nice and active. That way your next inhale can be a little bit bigger, fuller, more complete. A lot of times our breath is shallow, so we're not finding the top and the bottom of each breath. We're going like halfway in, halfway out. So the breathing can't be very long or full. If you focus on pushing all the breath out, emptying, the next inhale has a lot of potential. Whatever you've got with your arms, switch that out. Feel free to add a little sway side to side. We usually arrive more into poses on the exhale. More twist, more fold. Feel the pose more, find more space. Release your hands and walk them over to the right. Bend your right knee a lot and straighten into your left leg. Breathe deeply into your left side body, left waist. Then walk your hands all the way to the left. Big bend left knee. Walk your hands back through center. On your inhale, lift up halfway. Float your hands to your shins. Pull your chin towards your throat a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Grab your ankles. Again, inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Last time, halfway lift. And fold. Hands on the mat. Take a big step back, left foot. Both hands inside your right foot, kind of like a lizard pose. Just start to bend, straighten your legs a few times. Feel a nice stretch through the back of your leg, your hamstring. Now, let's roll to the outer edges of both feet and reach your right arm up into kind of a sunrise lunge. Send your hips to the sky. You might need to walk your right foot back more towards the middle of your mat. Let's lower that left hip down towards the floor. You'll feel probably a nice stretch through the left side body. And then as you lift your hips up, you're really using your left oblique, squeezing. Again, lower left hip towards the mat. You can reach your right arm towards the back of your mat. Lift your hips up, push. One more, lower hips. And lift. Place your right hand down, and then let's go ahead and crunch right knee towards the left elbow. Squeeze, dome your back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step back, plank, and lower all the way onto your belly. Nice work. Getting started pretty quickly here. Tops of the feet press down. Bind your hands behind your back. Work your knuckles towards your heels, and lift just your upper body. If that doesn't feel good, you can just grab one of your wrists instead. Press the tops of your feet down, toenails. Pull your chin towards your throat. 3, 2, 1. Release that. Bring your left ear to the mat. Release the bind. Soften your palms. Breathe into your upper back. Back through center, bind your hands opposite grip or grab your opposite wrist. This time, crawl your ribs a little bit forward and then bring your feet to touch. Lift your legs and your upper body. So you're feeling length through your waist, knuckles towards your heels, hug your ankle bones in. This will help you firm up your glutes, your hamstrings. Look at the top of your mat for 3, 2, 1. Gently release, right ear to the mat, soften your palms, release grip. Try to breathe so deeply you feel some space in your lower back. Empty the lungs completely. Return your forehead to the mat. Slide your hands under your shoulders. And let's roll up cobra pose. Feel free to wiggle around a little bit. Look right, look left. And when you're ready, take it back to a child's pose. Knees out wide and forehead down. Take a nice big breath in. And exhale, push the breath out. As you do that, you might feel your tailbone sink back more. Hollow out your armpits like your upper outer arm bones are wrapping around. So you're not opening your armpits out to the sides. You're trying to hide your armpits away. Come up tabletop for a few rounds of cat-cow just to further warm up the spine. Lengthen on the inhale, fold on the exhale, round. Again, inhale, arch back, look up. Exhale, round. Exaggerate the movement, exaggerate your breath. A few more. And then when you're ready, let's take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs a little bit. If you're feeling pretty open, so maybe it's afternoon, evening time, you've already done a lot today, you might not need any further movement, and stillness might sound quite nice. If it's morning time, your calves, your hamstrings are kind of screaming at you, you might want some gentle movement, bending into the leg, shaking your head. Either way, make your breath even, full. Imagine breathing into the sides of your body, your waist. And then bring your feet out nice and wide, about the width of your mat. Bring your thumbs to touch. You might walk your hands back a little bit as well. So shorter down dog, thumbs touching, feet wide. Right hand, reach for left ankle and pull. Imagine bumping your hips a bit over to the right as you try to pull your torso through to the left. Firm up your thighs. 3, 2, 1. Release and switch. Right thumb meet left thumb. Left hand reach for right ankle and pull. Hips a little left, lighter grip with the toes. Think right hand sliding a piece of paper forward. And release. Left thumb meets right thumb. Step or jump your feet outside of your hands into a yogi squat. Heels in, toes out. Feel free to sit on the block to modify. Use your elbows to press your knees outwards. Sink your tailbone. Feel the back of your skull lift. One of my favorite stretches here, we've definitely done this before. If possible, right hand will reach for left ankle and then stretch your left arm up and over. So you're kind of leaning over to the right, but you're using your right hand and your left ankle to kind of, that's the stretch, that's the resistance. Breathe into your left side. Come back through center. Left hand, reach for right ankle, right arm up, and then you lean over to the left. But the right shin is kind of pushing to the right, and that's creating the resistance with the left hand grabbing your ankle, so you feel the stretch in the right side. Come back through center. Let's go hands on the mat, hips up, and toes point forward. So your feet are wide, just like how we started class. On your inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. 2 more, halfway lift. And fold. Last time. Hands on the mat, big step back, right foot. Spend a few moments bending, straightening your legs. Both hands will be inside your left foot here. All right, left knee bent, shoulders over wrists. Roll to the outer edge of both feet and start to turn all 10 toes towards the left side of your mat. You might need to wiggle your left foot back a bit and then lower your right hip towards the mat. As you do this, you'll feel a nice big stretch through the right side body. You can reach your left arm towards the back of your mat. Press into the outer edge of your foot, push your hips to the sky, and squeeze your right oblique. Should be a little bit challenging. Lower your hips down, feel the stretch. Inhale. Exhale, push up and squeeze. One more, lower. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Left hand down, squeeze, left knee, right elbow, and hold. Dome your back, shoulders over wrists, 5. Look down between your thumbs, 4, 3, 2, 1. High plank position. Shift your weight forward and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, come up, cobra pose or upward facing dog. Roll your shoulders back away from your ears, and then we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Take a nice big breath in and an audible sigh. Release any heat, built up tension in your body. Active breathing, maybe in and out through the nose, or just even breath. Lift your right leg up behind you, bend your knee and stack your hips open. If you'd like, you could even drop down to your left forearm here, pushing into the hands or the forearm. Then maybe roll out that right hip, right ankle. Keep squeezing your left leg. Great. Big inhale, square off your hips. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Let's come up onto the fingertips. Bump your left foot a little bit to the left and then come up to a crescent warrior. Reach both arms up. Take your right hand to your right hip. Stretch your left arm up and then over. As your right hand is grabbing your hip, can you imagine kind of pulling it back a bit? You should feel a nice big stretch through left side body all the way down through the hip flexor. Great, nice big inhale and exhale. Inhale, back up. Let's come up and catch the left knee out in front of us. Squeeze. Stand up really nice and straight. Back of your skull lifting, left hand's grabbing the knee. Now I want you to release that grip on the knee. Reach both arms up. Squeeze your belly, tuck your pelvis a bit. Start to bend your right knee enough until your left foot meets your right foot in a chair pose. So your feet are actually separate here. Feet are about the width of your hips, gentle tuck of your pelvis. Turn your pinkies in and sit lower for 3, 2, 1, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to your waist and rise up to stand. Keep your right hand where it is. Stretch your left arm up and over. Use your right hand to push your hips to the left as you lean over to the right. Firm up your thighs, your glutes. Your right hand is pushing your right hip over to the left for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, back up. Let's cactus arms and lean back. Roll your shoulders out a few times. Scoop your tailbone, firm up your glutes. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back, right foot, left foot, chaturanga, knees up or down. Push the breath all the way out. Then inhale, nice and full. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Give your left leg a lift. Bend your knees, stack up your hips. Feel free to drop down to your right forearm and then move that left leg around any way that feels good. Nice big inhale, exhale, step left foot forward gently. Wiggle right foot a little bit out to the right. Prop up onto your fingertips. Find a runner's lunge. Squeeze your legs nice and high on your right toes. Reach both arms up, crescent warrior. You can always start with a gentle bend in your back knee. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Inhale. Exhale, reach right arm up and over. You want to feel a nice big side stretch. You want to keep your hips level. Use that left hand to stabilize left hip. Back up center. Start to shift your weight forward. Grab your right knee out in front of you. Standing up nice and tall, find some stability. Gentle bend in the standing leg is great, then reach your arms up. Keep the bend in your right knee. Start to bend your left knee until your right foot also meets the mat in chair pose. Pinkies turn in, sink your butt back. If you look down, you should be able to see your big toes. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, straight legs. Halfway lift. Fold. Hands to your waist, rise all the way up. Reach your right arm up. Use your left hand to push your hips over to the right. Right arm reach up and over to the left. Firm up your legs, lighter toes. Inhale, come back up. Cactus your arms and lean back. Bind your hands behind your back. Puff up your chest, lift your chin, stretch your throat, bend your knees, and fold in. Crawl your ribs down your thighs like you're lengthening the sides of your body. Great, hands down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back, left foot, then right foot, chaturanga. Inhale, come up. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up behind you. Let's crunch it over to the left elbow and just tap. Squeeze your obliques. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, crunch to the right elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Crunch, knee, nose, hold 3, 2, soft step between your thumbs. Right hand, mat or block. Keep it where it was on the outside of the right foot. Spin your left heel down and open up to a side angle. Right heel lines up with the left arch, deep bend in your right knee. You already feel a nice big stretch through that left side body. If you'd like a little bit more, extend your left arm off the mat to the left. Then sweep it overhead and you'll find a little bit more length through the left side. Feel a gentle lean back over the right thigh without arching your back. So you want to pull the ribs in, press the outer edge of the left foot down. Breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Feel strong through your legs. Come up to a warrior 2 and straighten your legs. Let's go reverse triangle. Reach your right arm up and back. You should now feel some length through this right side body, like you're lifting the rib up away from the hip. Press the big toe mound of your right foot down. Come back through center. If you have to, shorten up your stance a bit. Push your hips towards the back of your mat. Reach your right arm forward and then down. The block should be there so you can use it on the in or outside of the foot. You could also go onto your shin or grab your big toe. A lot of times the hamstrings are tight, so we're dumping forward. If you notice you're dumping forward, you'll turn your block to a higher height or go hand onto your shin. You want to feel a nice big lengthen through the left side, kind of from outside of the left knee, even through the outer hip and through the sides of your waist. Bring your left hand down. Let's bump it up to a pyramid pose. Could go block in front or hands on the mat. Tug your right hip back and drive your left hip forward. Try to feel some length, not only through the left side now, but also the right side. It's easy to crunch into the right side here, so we want to try to lengthen that. Imagine your heels being dragged towards each other. Great, bring your hands to your waist. You'll have to use your legs a lot. Rise all the way up. Let's go ahead and cactus those arms. Start to shift your weight into your right leg and hug your left heel up towards your butt. Feel your hamstring. Then left hand reach back for your foot. Now I want you to gently bend your right knee as you start to kick back into your left hand. So you feel your waistline draw in, feel your outer left hip drop. Then maybe extend your right arm forward. Hold here, breathe. 3, 2. As slowly as you can, release your left foot to meet your right foot. Utkatasana, chair pose. Eagle wrap, your right arm underneath your left arm. Once you've got that, right leg up and over. So now you're at least balancing on your other leg, eagle pose on the left side. If you want to modify the pose, use your right toes as a kickstand. Lift your elbows up a bit and feel space in your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, elbows towards your knees, round your back and shift your gaze towards your mat. Think elbows forward a little bit, unwind your legs. Take a nice big step back with the right foot. Your feet are set up like warrior 1, but you've still got eagle arms. Lift your elbows up, feel a stretch through your abdomen. Then dive down inside your left leg for humble eagle pose. Swing your hips a bit to the right, elbows go a little forward. Less grip with the toes. Squeeze your right thigh for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release that. Walk it over to the right for Prasarita Padottanasana, wide leg forward fold. Hands underneath shoulders and walk your hands back a little bit. Think chaturanga arms. Roll your weight forward without gripping into your toes. Easy to round the back here. With every inhale, can you find length through your waist? With every exhale, a little bit more fold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift up halfway. Let's bend into that left knee, Skandasana at the front of the mat. Bend your left knee and flex your right toes. Bump your left hip a little bit off to the right. Then let's take a seat down for a variation of gate pose. So I'm actually going to walk my left foot in a little bit, but I'm going to keep the toes pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Right hand for left ankle, left arm reach up. Nice big inhale. Exhale, leaning over to the right. I want to try to dive my right shoulder inside my right leg and then spiral my chest towards the ceiling. I know this is a pretty big stretch, so if you need to modify the pose, we'll take the bottom of the left foot to the inner right thigh instead. Your right hand will reach in front of your waist, grab your left side hip, left arm reach up, and over. Same idea here. You're still getting a nice big stretch through the left side. So wherever you are, breathing into that left side, trying to sink your left hip down for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come back up. Place your left hand outside of your left hip. Extend your left leg so your hips are your legs are at 90 degrees. Let's push down into that left hand. Lift your hips up. Your left toes will point towards the front of your mat. Your right foot's like warrior 2. Lift your hips. Maybe extend your top arm over the front of your mat for 3, 2, 1. Right hand down. Let's roll actually into a side plank on the right. And then focus on making a rainbow shape with your body. Send your hips up to the sky. Think left hip a little bit forward. Squeeze your butt. Firm down the outer edge of your right foot. 3, 2, 1. Like you're going to side plank on the left, but you're going to go down to your forearm. So side plank left on forearm and then right forearm down. You're now in a forearm plank. Scoop your tailbone towards your heels. Look down, neutral spine. Avoid the hips lifting. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. Hips down, Sphinx pose. Pull chest forward, shoulders back. Firm up your legs. Press the tops of your feet down. Awesome. As you lower your forehead down, push your elbows out. Let's go ahead and lift the legs up, bend the knees. You can stay there or you might reach back for your feet. If you've got your feet, start to kick back. Dhanurasana, floor bow. Point or flex your feet, just make sure they're active. Gaze can be down, forward, or up. If this is not accessible, grab another locust pose like we did in the beginning for 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Slide your hands under your shoulders and roll up cobra pose. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up behind you. Inhale. Crunch across to the right elbow. Push the breath out. Left leg up. Crunch to the left tricep. Left leg up. Knee nose. Hold 3, 2, 1. Step softly in between your thumbs. Mat or block, the left hand will stay where it is, outside the left foot. Spin your right heel down and reach your right arm up. Side angle pose. Your left heel should line up with your right arch. Deep 90-degree bend left knee. Avoid dumping forward. If that's the case, make the block a little taller. Go inside the foot. Stay here or extend your right arm off the right side of your mat, then sweep it over the front of your mat. That way you'll feel more length through the right. Outside edge right foot heavy, like you're trying to lift the arch. 3. Try to spiral chest up. 2, without flaring your ribs. 1, straighten your legs, come all the way up, reverse triangle. Feel some length in that left side now. Imagine high-fiving whatever is behind you. Come back through center. Feel free to shorten up the stance a bit. Keep the alignment. Heel to arch. Reach left arm forward as you push your hips towards the back of the mat. And left hand down. Mat, block, or shin. Imagine being sandwiched in between 2 panes of glass here. So you don't want to be leaning forward or leaning back too much. Scoop your left glute underneath you and tuck your ribs in. Stay there or extend your top arm for 3. 2. 1, right hand down, bump your right foot out and up for pyramid pose. Mat or block in front of you or fingertips to the mat, right toes angled out. Find length through both sides here. Right hip going forward, left hip tugging back. You can almost envision someone pushing your outer hips in towards each other. Bring your hands to your waist, squeeze your legs, and rise all the way up to standing. Cactus your arms and feel a gentle back bend. Start to shift weight into your left leg and hug your right heel up towards your butt. Squeeze, feel your hamstring first, then reach back for your foot. Start to kick back. You can hinge forward. You can reach your left arm or keep it where it is. I like a gentle bend in the standing leg, outer right hip dropping. 3, 2. As slowly as possible, right foot step to meet left foot, Utkatasana. And then eagle wrap, left arm under right arm. Lift elbows, triceps up a bit, and left leg over right leg. So now you're at least balancing on your right leg. Find a focal point, keep your gaze there, and keep your breath moving. Drop your elbows towards your knees. Shift your gaze down towards the mat. Try to keep your arms, just unwind your legs. Take a very big step back with your left foot. Your feet should be lined up like warrior 1. Inhale, lift your elbows, lean back a bit. Exhale, dive, humble eagle. Swing inside the right leg. Hips go left, forearms swing right. Let's grip with the toes, elbows a little forward for 3. 2. 1, release and walk it to the left. Wide leg forward fold. Squeeze your legs, roll your weight forward. If you'd like to grab your big toes or your heels, try to avoid rounding your back. Think shoulders away from ears. So the shoulders actually lift up a little bit. Feel like you're making space for your neck, your spine to elongate. 3. 2. 1, release, inhale, halfway lift. Bend deeply into your right knee and sink your hips, Skandasana. You're gonna bump your right hip a little bit to the left and then take a seat. So again, your right toes can be pointing towards the long edge of your mat, and you'll grab onto your shin with the left hand, or bottom of the right foot to the inner left thigh, left hand to your right waist. You choose. Right arm will reach up, keep your left toes flexed, lean to the left. If you've got the space, you want to go inside the left thigh and then lean back a little bit. Try your best to keep sinking your right hip as much as it does want to lift up. If available, you'll want to look up at the ceiling and breathe deeply into that right side for 3. 2. 1, all right, release that, come back up, right hand outside right hip, fingers pointing towards the front of the mat. Extend your right leg so your legs are at 90 degrees. As you press into your right hand and lift your hips, your right toes will point towards the front of your mat. Your left toes are like warrior 2. Lift your hips. Awesome. Let's lower that left hand down and actually go into a side plank on the left. So roll to the outer edge of your left foot and reach your right arm up. A little micro bend in the elbows is great if you feel like you're hyperextending. Right hip a little bit forward. Think banana shape with your body. Squeeze your legs. 3. 2. 1. Roll onto right forearm and then left forearm, so forearm plank again. Stay here, or this time you might want to tiptoe your feet towards your elbows into a dolphin pose. Drop your head and look back at your feet. Push your forearms down so there's enough space for your head to hang heavy. Feel some length through your waist. Feel free to micro-bend your knees. It's okay if the heels don't touch the mat. We'll be here for 3, 2, 1. Drop your knees either from dolphin pose or from forearm plank. We'll come up to stand on the knees. The knees are the width of your hips. Same thing with your feet. Hands to low back. Move tailbone down a little bit. As you inhale, pick up your chest. As you exhale, push your hips forward and lean back. Ustrasana, camel pose. Stay here or reach back for your heels. Keep pressing your hips forward. Expand across your chest, collarbones. 3, 2, 1. Lift up and round your back, hands to the mat, cat pose. Great. Cross your ankles and take a seat back on your heels. Let's extend both legs forward and slowly as you can. So both legs extending is actually going to be straighter or harder. Knees bent will be a little bit easier. So you might try with straight legs. Extend your arms forward. Flex your feet, and as slow as you can, start to lower yourself 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way down onto your back. You'll have to use your core until you're eventually onto your back. Take a nice full body stretch, arms overhead, point your toes, and then hug your knees into your chest and squeeze. Rock a little bit side to side if that feels good. Let's go legs up the wall or shoulder stand. So we already did a lot of back bends. We're not going to do any more on our back, but you'll take either legs up the wall, waterfall pose, or shoulder stand. Use your hands to support your low back. Shoulder stand's kind of easy to just relax into, but I want you to find some engagement. Spread your toes apart, press the balls of your feet up, firm up your legs, squeeze your belly and your glutes. Stay there or take your legs overhead for plow pose. You might like to grab the outside edges of the mat or bind your hands. If this feels painful on your neck, you can come out or try to press the back of your skull down and feel less pressure in your neck. You might also like to bend your knees for ear pressure pose. Hug your knees towards your temples. Hips lifting, tailbone lifting. Slow as you can, start to lower yourself all the way down. Let's go fingertips under the butt, legs straight. Toes pointing and active. Forearms on the mat, fish pose. Puff up your chest, drop your head back. Stretch your throat. Feel some length through everywhere. Your abdomen, your waist, tops of your thighs. Lion's breath, big inhale. Tongue out. And slowly lower down onto your back. Let's go ahead and hug, or bring the bottoms of the feet to touch actually. Bottoms of the feet to touch, knees out wide. Place your hands on your inner thighs. Nice and gentle, kind of just resetting your spine, reset your hips. If you'd like more pressure, you can place your hands on your inner thighs. Take your arms out wide like a T, close your knees up like a book. Bump your hips a little bit over to the right so your knees can fall to the left. Look off to your right. Nice simple twist. Not a lot of effort, a lot of ease. Slowly bring your knees back through center. Bump your hips a little to the left so your knees fall naturally to the right. And then look off to the left. Slowly bring your knees back through center. Give yourself a big squeeze, knees into chest. Of course, if there's any final pose or stretch you'd like to do before you complete your practice, feel free to go there now. When you're ready, you'll start to extend your legs towards the front corners of your mat or find any other comfortable resting position. If that means on your side or in a seat, go for it. Allow your palms to face up. Walk your shoulder blades a little bit underneath you. Can you relax the muscles in your face? Unclench your jaw. Allow a feeling of peace, calm, to overcome your body. So you feel your muscles give in. Any tension you might be holding onto or thoughts, allow that to soften. Give yourself a few moments of complete relaxation and rest. Then I will guide you out in a few minutes' time. Slowly bring some gentle awareness back within the four corners of your mat. Notice your physical body, what you're feeling. Then notice anything present mentally, any thoughts, tension. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, take a big stretch, maybe a big yawn. And then hug your knees in and roll to your right or left side. Feel that peace, calm, stillness, almost as a little warmth behind your heart space. Can you allow that warmth to spread as you start to make your way up to a comfortable seat? We'll meet with the hands at heart center. And feel that this warmth and peace has kind of overcome your body, overtaken all of your senses. Allow that to pour out of you as you step off of your mat. Sharing some of your peace, your calm, with all of those that you interact with today. Let's go deep breath in and audible sigh. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you liked this class, let me know in the comments. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, any poses you really want to see in the future. I do try to read and respond to every single comment, so I so appreciate it. If you haven't already, I would so appreciate your subscription to my channel. It's the best way to help support me. Share it with your family and friends. more views, more subscribers is more content for you guys. So I so appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you back next week.